Hi, huge movie fanatic Nate coming at you this time to do a trailer review for the very first trailer of Star Wars. I'm just going to call it Episode 7 because that's what it is, regardless if they put it in the title or not. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, is that what it's called? I think so. The very first trailer. We had a lot of trailers that were premiered over the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to do my review, my very brief review on the trailer for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I mean, this is just like a super teaser. Out of all the three trailers that the two that I reviewed before this and now this one, this is the most teaser-ish. It doesn't have any people, not that I'm aware, it doesn't have any people on screen saying any dialogue or anything like that. So out of all the three that I'm going to review at this time, this is the last trailer for now, this is the one that's the most teaser-ish, and I don't know, there's really not a whole hell of a lot to say. I mean, I guess it's cool to finally get a glimpse of it, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, when a movie's being made and a movie's being developed, or at least I do, I have these thoughts in my mind about what it could be, and obviously you have these thoughts about how grand it could be or whatever, and then when you see some of it or see the whole movie or whatever, it's just like, oh. And I guess, I don't know, like I say, just maybe getting on in years or whatever. For the most part, when I see actually the movie or some of the footage, it's kind of like, oh, it's like always, I don't know, not as great as I'd hoped it to be or whatever, but granted, there's not a lot of footage in the, half of the trailer is black, so I don't even know what to say. I mean, one thing I think is really lame is the corporate media's. I saw on some website saying something about a black stormtrooper and all this bullshit. And first of all, let me just tell you that I never for 1 minute thought of him as a stormtrooper. I'm just going to take a guess, and I think it's probably correct. And if it's not, it's not. But ever since when I see that guy pop up into the screen, to me, I see a rebel who dressed up in a stormtrooper outfit. I mean, I don't see a stormtrooper, and a stormtrooper wouldn't end up with a helmet off and look all worried and shit. That's a hero who dressed up in a stormtrooper outfit. That's the impression I got from just his demeanor. Bad guys never act like that, like they're worried about their situation or anything like that. He must have crash landed or something like that, just like, whatever, a New Hope or something. It's a rebel who's wearing the stormtrooper gear. It's happened before. So it's not a stormtrooper, it's a good guy or whatever. So, that's my bet. So let's get up to that. So, I mean, what's there to say? I mean, I didn't see a whole lot, One thing I think is kind of lame, of course, now this, I keep having to remind myself, I'm so used to prequels coming out, I keep having to remind myself that this one comes after Return of the Jedi, so, and it's actually a lot of years, like 30 years or something after Return of the Jedi, so things can actually change. But I gotta tell you, that lightsaber we saw being wielded by obviously some Sith type character, I didn't really, yeah, I thought it was kind of lame after having all kinds of continuity over the course of 6 movies, over the course of 6 movies with lightsabers basically looking the same, like as far as their beam, their lightsaber part. All of a sudden, this thing looks like a fiery saber from hell or whatever. Just the basic, it almost looks like a fire saber. How it's not just a straight like glowing beam. Now it's like, I don't know, it had animation within the, on the edges and shit, and not to mention the freaking lame ass lightsaber guard shit or whatever that's stuck out of the sides like a damn cross or something. It's just like, oh man, that was probably the least, impressive little bit of whatever. I thought the droid that was kind of had like a R2D2-ish head, but it was just like, that was stuck on a ball that was rolling around. I thought that was kind of cool. That little shot of that, whoever that girl is who speeds off on the thing. I mean, it felt like Star Wars, the few brief shots we got to see. The Millennium Falcon thing was kind of cool and kind of not. I don't really like the camera going upside down. Whatever. It's so little to even see, that it's just like, oh man. it's almost too little to even comment on. So why am I commenting on it? I don't know, because I'm doing reviews now, and you can't not make a video about this. So I don't know. I guess it's very little to even necessarily comment on. I'm interested, obviously, in seeing. Hopefully, we see little snippets or whatever of Luke or Leia or Han in trailers to come next year. Interested in whatever else comes out. I mean, it's just definitely crazy to see the Millennium Falcon back. Of course, we saw it in computer-generated shots in the special editions of the original trilogy, so, we have seen it, back in the late 90s, in other, extended computer-generated shots from those movies, but I don't know. Oh, and then, of course, we got the new, more streamlined versions of what are they called? Well, I don't know. Whatever the Rebels X-wings. So I'm still excited. I mean, it's just a little teaser. So I guess we'll leave it at that. So just not to waste too much of you guys' time. But that's my opinion of the the very first trailer for The Force Awakens. Feel free to leave comments what you think about it. What do you think of the new lightsaber? You think it's lame as all shit like I do, or do you like it? Are you sick of the old style, and do you like it? I do have to comment very briefly that someone, of course, put up like a parody, like really soon afterwards, like a special George Lucas special edition version of the trailer, which I thought was pretty funny as well. Might have even made the movie look better than it does without this stuff, but so that's my little take on the very first trailer for Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens. I'll definitely, obviously, review probably every trailer that comes out between now and the movie's release, and of course review the movie a year from now. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and you can be sure to catch me in my next video.